that the AD carry needs to have on those team fights. And here we are into picks and bans. Rumble, Seraph. Not much changes from the previous games.
Yeah, that's right. And I think back to the point on where is the crisp? Whoa, hold on. Where's the crisp? SAJ and SF5 that we're expecting in the group stages. I think we have to go back to the point that it's possibly the fact that the teams have really stepped it out during the break after group stage 1. So I think in that sense, I have to give a lot of credits over to ASUS Fate as well as Zotac 269. These two teams were kind of coming into the second part of the group stages, perhaps not being the favorites here, but they have definitely proven why they are the ones who deserve that spot. And Zotac 269, for example, is definitely one of these teams to look forward to, because they are, in fact, the top of the table for Group A right now. So ASUS Fate, let's see if they will be able to sort of claw back with their desired results here. As we look at the rest of the bands coming through, Pantheon and Jeddah getting taken away on the side of ASUS Fate, kind of switching a bit of the bands here. Next side will be open this time around. We'll see if ASUS Fate will lock that one out for themselves. And just as I mentioned it, it's going to get locked in.
So Rek'Sai, usually we want to be played with an enabler such as Lulu or Sever on their side. We have to see if they go for that, or would they just be using Rek'Sai as a very early game tool just to get the additional very flexible gang pass that Rek'Sai can have, simply because his passive provides him with a lot of sustain, meaning that he doesn't need to back after his first clear of 3 camps. So Saigon Jokers, once again, they will be going for the Maokai in the top lane, and it is this time too playing the Corki for himself. So this time not going for the hyper scaling team composition. They felt that, okay, we gave it to Tristana, you hit the 6 slotted items, you weren't able to carry us. Let's change something over there. Something went wrong. We got to change that up.
Yeah, we'll see if that's going to be the switch that Saigon Jokers eventually need. And I think if not, it's going to be big trouble for these guys, because Corki is even more risk-taking as compared to Tristana. Because if you look at it, Tristana at the end of the day, she can still sit back, stay in range, and then just auto-attack down your opponents in order to secure the kills. Corki, you need to be in closer vicinity as compared to Tristana. So the issue that we identified with Su is that transiting from the support to the AD coach, you might not have the bloodthirsty instinct that every AD carry should have, and that might be a problem. We'll see how it works out eventually though. And we have a couple of interesting lock-ins here. It's going to be the Lissandra lock-in for ASUS Fate, and the Alistair as well. We haven't seen Alistair in the support role for a long time for the competitive play.
So Lissandra has Alistair, lots of CC, lots of knockouts coming in from ASUS Fate. Let's see how well Saigon Jokers will be able to do with that. Corki as well as Maokai, not revealing too much about their own team composition. Morgana in this case might be a good answer to what the Lissandra might have to offer, because at the 0.4 seconds cast time, you can actually drop the Black Shoe down in time to prevent the stun from locking people up. But usually, when there's a Morgana, the altar will be casted on Lissandra herself, just to get the AoE damage in.
You know, I just realized as well that we have not actually considered the possibility of that top lane Alistair that was quite popular back in the day. But then again, we'll have to see if that's going to be the case. Hakram's still open though. I don't know whether ASUS Fate is considering for that one, as we will have the Jarvan being locked in on the side of the Saigon, because previously it was available to them. For safety, did produce quite a fair bit of results, but towards the end kind of dropping the ball. And right now they do have the Morgana on the side, and let's see what kind of difference Carrot's going to play with this Morgana pick though. ASUS Fate taking their time to think through what they really want to go for. I think it's the 3 picks that they have right now is going to be quite flexible. Other than Rek'Sai, I think most probably going to be in the jungle. We can possibly see the Alistar in the top lane, Lissandra in the top lane as well, so not going to reveal their hands towards the very last second.
Oh, they hovered over the vein there for a second, but I believe Akio is just trolling us. Lulu in the mid lane is definitely a possibility over here. And we have to see what is the AD carry they will be picking up. It might be a Jinx. Come on, let it be the Jinx. Azure.
Yeah, I believe that was a lag. The more I saw, it happened once in yesterday's broadcast as well. You know, the moment I saw the last second ticking down and they've not chosen an AD carry, it's like, okay, that's probably a lag right there. As you can see on the lobby list, right? Everyone's like, okay, lag. Happens once in a while. Do bear with us. We'll get back to the lobby as soon as it is up for you guys. But I think with this little bit of downtime that we have right now, I think I want to quickly discuss about the state of the group stages. We have gone through 1 week, and I think we have said at the start of the broadcast as well, there's only going to be 3 weeks of group stage number 2, so competition is going to be extremely tight. The schedules are extremely, compact as well, so teams don't have actually that much time to prepare for their opponents if you think about it. And I just want to listen to your view, your take on the group stage 2 matches so far, because we've seen a lot of draws, a lot of teams that we expect are supposed to be the dominant ones hasn't looked as good as they did in group stage 1, and a lot of the lower tier teams are really just stepping up. So what do you think?
I mean, I think with all these draws coming in, we are going to have it come down to the final legs of this group stage. So we're going to be seeing lots of action in week 3, lots of desperate strategies, maybe even some cheeses being pulled out to pick up some wins in this best of 2 format between the teams as a whole. So what we are seeing now is lots of draws happening. Teams such as Zodiac 269, they might be looking comfortable sitting on top of the table with their 4 points, but there's still lots more games to be played at the moment, and we can't be writing off anyone or saying that, okay, these guys are definitely going to make it so far. I mean, there's definitely teams who are slumping. SAJ, ASF haven't really been looking themselves as of late. IGL stepping up huge. The group D teams, IGL, Zodiac 269, turning up huge in this initial few games to prove everyone wrong. At first, a lot of people are saying, okay, Zodiac 269, not doing too well in the VCSA, they're going to go 0-6. IGL as well, haven't kind of slumping, haven't really shown us their true strength. But here they are, stepping things up, taking games of SAJ, SF5. Now here we go, into the redraft once again. We will be waiting for Slay vs Akio to figure out what they decided to lock in as their last 2 picks over there.
Alright, this shouldn't be taking too long for these guys. This should be locking in as quickly as possible. Not sure what the delay is about. Perhaps just running through things once again. As we do have the Lissandra locked in, and just to quickly run through, there was the Alistair locked in, of course, coming in Bunky as well. Saigon, Morgana, and Jarvan. So we'll see what is going to be the AD choice here. I think this is going to be the important one for ASUS Fate. To see Slay in the previous game, he was performing okay-ish, but not quite to the level of like hyper carry as of yet. Then again on that cocky pick, so very curious as to see what he's going to pick up this time around.
So now ASUS Fate, yeah, he's starting what 80 carry to lock in for themselves. Now Akito's turn. It's very interesting. Champion side mechanics. That might be swapping up to the mid lane, the Jinky, and oh, okay, fine. It is not going to be a Lulu support. So I thought if they're going to be picking AD carry and support, might as well have Slay just pick the AD carry and Akio pick the support.
You see, it's still possible for them to have the Lulu support if they send the Alistair up into the top lane and then let Lissandra go into the mid lane. So all this is still left on the edge. And so when you have all these champions with that sort of flexibility, it's very hard to tell what kind of composition that ASUS Fate is trying to pull out here. But right here, we are going to have the Vayne locked in for ASUS Fate. What do you think of that?
I think this is a rather huge risk that ASUS Fate is taking. I was calling for a Jinx in this position. Maybe they wanted something with a little bit more mobility. Caitlyn was fine as well, but going for the Vayne up against what Saigon has to offer, we'll be playing against a Corki Morgana lane. So there is a potential that ASUS Fate ends up just losing the lane itself and just losing the game from there. But Saigon Jokers, they have to playing in the AD carry position. This might be ASUS Fate saying that, okay, we know that you've just gone through a role swap recently and we're going to be looking to punish that one. We know you've invested largely into tanks with them all kinds of top lane, and we'll be trying to punish that with the Jinx over here. I mean, not the Jinx, the Vayne in the AD carry position.
Yeah, and I think it's also to the point that in the previous game, when Saigon Jokers ran the Jarvan and Maokai composition, I think a lot of time ASUS Fate just found themselves in a position where it's very difficult for them to win the team fight, and it's taking too long for Corki to have any outburst of damage whatsoever. As we're looking at the last pick coming through from Saigon Jokers, kind of a throwback to the old Vietnamese favorite
the
in the form of the Jace. Yeah, I'm gonna look forward to this matchup. Mazida, the first time, in fact, when he stepped onto the GPL stage, he was playing that Jace, and he did deliver in that one. So, of course, we are on the tournament realm, so there's not going to be that big of a delay. We'll waste no time whatsoever, and we're going to show you the feature video for ASUS Fate to take a look. you go, guys. ASUS Fate having a huge roster and gonna run this particular set of players this time around against Saigon Drinkers. They did have a pretty decent performance, and even though it was a long draw, I felt like they could potentially go all the way.
Definitely Saigon Jokers, they have shown really solid play in the earlier stages, proving that they have what it takes to climb on top of the GPL competition, winning the Southeast Asian IEM qualifier and going to Taipei itself to play in the IEM itself, beating up Bangkok Titans as well as the Saigon Fantastic 5.
Yeah, that's right. So I think this time around, they really need to reassure their dominance in the group stage 2 right here, because so far their performance have been rather lackluster, and I wonder what's getting the gears to turn right here. And perhaps they need a bit of oiling and make sure that it doesn't go all rusty and it will function well enough again. We'll see if that's going to be the case of the game. With, of course, the Jays pick up for Levita, something that I'm definitely going to look forward to in this one. So everyone's going to load onto Summoner's Rift right now. So it looks like it is going to be the Alistair in the support role. Not quite the support Lulu that we're kind of expecting.
Oh, definitely. When you have the Alistair, it's most likely going to be going to the support role because the nerfs to his E and the damage he does to minions and monsters, it kind of nerfs his ability to play in the jungle or any other lane for the matter. So
okay.
it is going to be a Lulu mid lane.
Yeah. And okay, so having the Lulu in the mid lane means that it's kind of the acceleration, or rather the throwback to Season 2 when we saw a lot of Vayne and Lulu lane. And the good thing about it is that the Lulu is going to provide a lot of utility that the Vayne needs in order to stay alive and kite in the team fights, be it the shield from Help Picks or the Wild Growth, as well as the extra movement speed from Whimsy. So just being in the mid lane means that all those AP ratios is going to do a lot more. As Shady's going to get spotted out by Tilting that group. Right now it's going to be Carrot getting caught out in a very awkward position right here. Hugh is going to save him for now, and Slade is still going to try to chase forward for this one. He's going to take a lot of damage off of that one. So that's 4 members up in the top lane for ASUS Fate at this point of time, but not going to take anything out of that whatsoever.
They do get 3 summoner spells in exchange for 2 of their own. ASUS Fate, they come a slightly hit of this one, and now they have priority going on disturbing safety, starting jungle parting.
This kind of reminds me of yesterday's games as well. Everyone just is not interested in laning whatsoever. They just want to take the jungle away. As now Mixwater does wrap around on the back end. Whoa, getting the flash out as well. We do see Levita chasing down onto Mew. The Ignite goes down as well, as we do see everyone flashing into action right here. Will Mew eventually go down? Yes, he does. Levita is the one picking up the kill. And now Slade is the one in a very awkward position.
He doesn't have his flash.
That's right, up in the top lane as well. We do see Shady flashing over the wall. And it is going to be Levita picking up the double kill. Like you mentioned, no flash whatsoever. Has to try to run for his life, but a lot of catch-up potential, a lot of closing in potential from both Safety and Levita in that case. And what a disastrous start it is for ASUS in this game.
2-0 at the start of the game. That went so well in Saigon Joker's favor. Not only were they able to secure the buff for themselves, they were able to kill Myoyu as well as Slay and force multiple flashes on the side of ASUS Fate.
Yeah, once again, I just feel like ASUS Fate just dropping the ball so heavily out into that jungle area. They didn't really have a reason why they needed to stick so long in that area. They decided to do that and commit to that call, and we got so much damage. They ended up taking a lot of damage and finally knocking Sue away to negate away some of the damage of the Gatling gun. And in the bottom lane here, Mixwater reassuring his dominance down, just chunking him down with the advance and the sacrifice.
I mean, Sue as well as Carrot doing a fantastic job. Now they have the advantage to just letting this huge shot and damage onto Slayer as a key hook. They're going to be putting a lot of pressure onto the Vayne to CS under the turret itself. I'm going to expect the CS lead to grow for Sue over the course of the game.
Yeah, that's right. And the thing about this is that this is going to be the perfect scenario for Saigon Focus right here, because they have secured the lane that they wanted. They secured 2 early kills for Levita in this case. He is returning to play, not necessarily the CS of market, but it's just a very good goal booster for this guy. And up the top lane, we did have a going aggressively against Slay in that case, and so almost getting brought down with the 3 procs of the silver bolts there, but eventually we'll be able to back off for now. We'll see what he decides to return with the lane. Sorry, return to the lane with.
Now Levita actually has the blue buff. from South. So that's going to be enabling lots of bullying power for himself to repeatedly spam those shock blasts. And acceleration gets done onto Jinky. But now knowing that the racing is pushing into favor against Aces Fate, we have to see if Mew decides to pay a visit to the mid lane at all.
Yeah, that's right. And you have to remember the pushing potential, or rather the ganking potential for a red side is going to be much stronger as compared to Jarvan in the early few levels of the game where the Cataclysm isn't quite in effect as of yet, as we do have safety going back rather earlier to pick up that Rangers Trailblazer, so he's just going to finish off the game much earlier as compared to the new situation. As down the bottom lane we do see, this one is slowly pulling ahead as compared to Shady in this case.
But here's the danger if Milyu wants to gank the mid lane. He doesn't have his flash available. So actually with the hammer strike from Levita and Pelican positioning, he can actually put Milyu in a very difficult position, but he gets knocked back into the turret. And Levita might be able to get a kill in a 2v1 situation.
That's right, there is offer going to be that sort of gift right there. Levita, like I mentioned, having the blue buff, can just spam out the acceleration shock blast to push out the wave as he freezes, and he's in fact going to do it like that. Jinky, even though he does have the glitter lance to try to wave take it, he is using a fair bit of mana issues on his own side, but still catching up in terms of CS, holding on to that CS advantage for himself. And on the top lane, Kara as well, Su playing quite aggressive on this forefront against the Slay and the people. They know for a fact that they have the early game advantage, and they are going to do the best to do that.
And now Safety just moving in and pulling out Milyu and his own jungler, picking up all three of the small raptors over here, but Milyu just tanks up the damage on a raptor himself. This is this is just sad.
I really like this, what's going on, and Mew is not going to get the smite onto the Razor Cat. It's like, sometimes enemy junglers can coordinate together to bring down the jungle wildlife.
Cruelty against the jungle animal. Somebody better start a petition for that.
What's that gonna do? Wait, what's that association called?
SPCA?
No, Peter, right?
PETA, yes, prevention for...
People for SPCA.
Yes.
Well, it wouldn't really quite have the same ring to it. PETJ, ethical treatment towards jungle monsters. Not quite the same ring to it, and speaking about ring, we did have Saigon Jokers get a new ring of buff for themselves as they did take out the very early dragon for themselves, and this game is starting to look great for SAJ already with that. 2 early kills for Levita, who has completed a 7-minute brutalizer together with the Tear of the Goddess and the dragon buff for themselves.
So that is going to be giving a very early power spike onto Levita over here. Usually you want to sync that armor penetration up for when you have the Mirror being available, but having this so early on is going to mean that he's going to be able to push out the lane very early on and simply bully out Jinky in the laning phase. And after the question is, will he be able to make any major roams happen? And that will be onus onto Milyu to pick up the Scarlet Crabs to spot out the roam that might be coming from Levita.
That's why we do have now the bomb lane still getting caught in by the Condemn right here, but he will be able to bounce out of the way. Carrot finds himself in a very weird position here. Safety is going to be there to actually block out some damage over here, but right now here comes Levita on the back end. Where is the focus going to be? And they are going to zero in onto Mew right now. It's going to be Safety picking up the kill. Where's the knockback coming in from Levita? Here comes the DP on the back end though. DP's going to pick up the kill on the Safety. Double kill now for the mid laner of Aces Fate here, and a triple kill in fact for these guys. Saigon Jokers, they were the ones with the advantage. What just happened there? Jinky picks up 3 kills in consecutive fashion here. My goodness.
I mean, that just felt like a comedy of errors from the Saigon Jokers over there. They couldn't really call the targets down, and when Levita engaged, the rest of the team was slow to re-engage onto that one. And then when they saw the rest of the middle laner coming up, they couldn't really decide whether to continue with the fight or not, and it just ended up with the whole team not being on the same page.
Yeah, that's right, and Saigon Jokers, they were the ones with the early advantage when Aces Fate kind of botched up the jungle plans right there. But it seems like this is kind of deja vu from game number 1, a game where we had a lot of mistakes back and forth, and with that, he didn't actually capitalize, and he didn't get the must count for himself. That's going to be a huge early power fight for these guys, bro. Going to be able to match up to the pushing power that Jace offers on the table.
So this is going to be buying the Vayne lots of time, and in fact, a fair bit of farm as well. She's able now to farm her rather safely under the turret, and with the bridge with the caress completed, sustaining up against the Cocky Morgana lane wouldn't be too much of a problem with the Ellison support.
Yep, that's right. And I also feel like it's at a point of time where with Vayne you do get the bridge for the Cutlass. You should be able to deal with Corki quite easily now. And the thing about Su as well is that he is quite hesitant to go in towards, move towards Vayne definitely try to press her down, and it's going to be a problem later on because you as a Corki player, you need to be the one who is the aggressive one in lane in order to make sure that Vayne does not have an easy time whatsoever when it comes to farming. But we don't see that happening yet for Su.
Definitely soon. Not able to get the growing presence to one down against this Vayne Elistalian. In fact, Q just walking up and making the Saigon Joker's bot lane play so carefully and safely. It's partially because also they have lost the vision around the bottom side of the map, so they're going to be playing a little bit more carefully in this bottom lane, especially with the exhaust and Q summoner scale down.
Right, and Akiho and you moving towards the mid lane right here. In fact, it is going to be, they kind of spot things out over here. Might see a gank happening. Safety is wrapping around the corner as well.
Come on in the mid lane, let's take a look at what's happening there.
Yeah, that's right, nothing's going on as of yet. As still going to be two members moving around the area. As it is now going to be Carrot in a very awkward position. Going to take a shot, a cheap shot, a pot shot now from lane. As right now, the rest of the members are going to go in on stage, giving a lot of damage. Going to pop the Venge through Maelstrom as well. Going to get slowed down by the slapping over here. Is there going to be enough damage to finish him off? One more auto attack does not get Q off. And a very clutch flash from Shady is going to save his life.
The Nick's Water just being able to outduel Safety one-on-one. Safety goes in as unable, just missing the window of opportunity by just a few seconds, unable to steal the blue buff away. He's going to be putting his fire down here despite knowing there's team members around him, clearing out some fouls.
That is very effective water right there. In fact, he's going to build that CS up to about 25 or so. He's going to go back. Already has the catch this replay, so we'll see if he decides to go in for the much earlier righteous come around, or decides to go for the Rod of Ages. I think given his playstyle, he should be sticking to his guns and going for the Rod of Ages here. Yep, going with the blasting one. A very clear indicator that he wants the early AP, and he still wants to be the one to scale into the late game.
Definitely the composition of Saigon, because this point you don't really have to rush his story that early on in the game. So going for the Rod of Ages, getting some additional skilling, and perhaps going for a much more tanky Maokai build that can just do sustained damage to this fight. Might be a better option over here.
Yeah, that's right, and Saigon Jokers now grouping around the Dragon area. ASUS Fate will be able to spot out all of the tremor sensors from Muse passive is going to help spot out where exactly Saigon Jokers are. We're going to come into live here, coming to play. The first one was of course by Saigon Jokers. The second one was as well. It's not quite starting things off though. They are not confident that they will be able to take it out of the top with this quarter. They're aggressive against Shady, and again the blasting one is definitely going to help out in the game right here. Bring him down to about half health after that single spell rotation.
You are both teams dancing around the dragon at the moment. Saigon Jokers, they do have the advantage in the top lane, however, so once you know the safety, the Shady has been dropped down rather low. There is a window of opportunity for Maokai to teleport into the dragon pit area and try to find a fight.
Right, it is still quarter constantly slowing those down, making sure that Shady has no easy time whatsoever. Now moving towards the dragon pit as well. They do know that safety has taken away the Scuttle Crab buff, excuse me, as everyone else still very hesitant to move towards the area, and he's just buying so much time for Slay to, get all this extra bit of farming. He's going to be very contented with that sort of result. I can't quite say the same for the top lane though, because next water is just slowly and steadily chunking down to the top lane turret, and now finally trying to get over for Saigon.
Meanwhile, we actually see Shady actually starting to be a little bit defensively over here, going for a bit of a mishmash, getting the Fiendish Codex at first, trying to build this Morello Nomicon, and then deciding that, okay, I can't hold this lane anymore, this one is doing too much damage to me, and then picking up the Negatron Cloak, which will be becoming a Abyssal Scepter.
Yeah, that's most likely going to be the case right here, but in the mid lane, though, I would say, Jinky, past that 3 kills that he has picked up for himself, is doing a marvelous job at maintaining that CS against Lavida. He does not have the, comparing the CS, it almost is a 15 CS lead right here. And you're looking at Lavida as well, with the blue buff, he's still struggling to stack up that $300. So we have to look forward to that one. 300 stacks already at the 2 mark. Means that we should be looking forward to the Mana Mune, or rather the Muna Mana in the next 10 minutes or so. We do hear the Void Scream coming through from the Point Rush of Mew. Gonna go back into the Raptors camp. Not gonna risk too much get as much experience in the camp and stuff. Just finish up the milestone, which is because for the number of ASUS Fate. Gonna focus more towards maintaining vision for the rest of the team rather than his own personal itemization.
Once again, they're going to be jostling for position around this Dragon Pit area. Both top laners have teleport available, but once again, this is just allowing Mixed Water to just outdo Shady continuously in the top lane over there.
And that's why a lot of time wasted. Very similar to Game of One again. This mid-game Dragon struggle is very real for these guys. Don't be mistaken. And it's just giving different parties, the advantage that they do. For the top lane, it is Nixwater who is just slowly and constantly chunking down, Shady, making sure that he's not having an easy time. But the time of his life, yes,
they're gonna rush it. They're gonna rush it.
But they are going to try to rush the Dragon down though. This going to go into the favor of KPK right here. And here comes the full flash fight breakdown. Nixwater in the middle of it. The kill on Aaron on the backline. Nixwater gonna find a return kill on PK. And right now, everyone getting up on the side of ACK. A lot of damage now down on the side of Saigon Jokers. They are now gonna try to chase in onto Jinky. He's the only member left alive. Will we see the ace coming through? He does have the Bill Lunch. Not quite. The Whimsy is gonna pick him up alive for now. And he will live to tell a tale. But that's gonna be 4 kills for Kel. No, that's the ace coming through. Lavina with the last minute snipe from long range down. And that is also the mid lane going down. And Saigon Jokers finally finding the team fight that they needed.
Hashtag GPL big plays over there. Props to Lavina letting the long range snipe onto Jinky. I have to say, SAJ, they are controlling the fight really well, and they picked up multiple objectives for themselves. The only thing that could have gone better was if Safety was able to steal away the Dragon, but nonetheless, they knew the advantage in the team fight, and I have to say, Su's positioning in the team fight was immaculate. He went in, he bursted one member down. He knew the rest of the team was zoning away multiple members, and he predicted the angle for good that Shady was going to come in from, and very skillfully dodged around the Lissandra out.
That's right, and you can almost feel the situation coming in for the members for Saigon Jokers. They held on to this sort of team fight for such a long time, and they finally found the perfect opportunity for them to do so, and they catch out so much of that, getting the clean aid off of that one, and then of course getting too close to the mid lane.
There we go, farm alarm! Yo, you hastens to the jungle. Picks up the red dot. But now, where's the Dragon down? I have to wonder though, what Saigon Jokers really looking for over here? We're still waiting for the Marabune to be hitting the 700 stacks for Lavina over there. So until then, I would think the Saigon Jokers they will be content to continue to farm and isolate the 2 top laners for Nixwater to continuously put pressure onto Shady.
Yeah, that's right, and there's no immediate threat that's going to come through from ASUS Fate in the next 5 minutes or so. You could arguably say that they will want to keep lay down, but he's already 0-2 and 4 in. Even though he has about a good 10 CS lead over Su right now, we are looking at Su, who has completed the Trinity Force as well as the Sorcerer Shoe. If there is going to be a 1v1 situation, I feel like if Su approaches this correctly, he should be able to take Slay down.
You know, I was kind of expecting the Captain Planet build going on to Nixwater over there.
Captain Planet build. Tell me more about the Captain Planet build.
I mean, it's the one where you just build the half components for everything. So you get the Spectre's Cowl for the magic resistance.
Okay.
And then you want to build those Frozen Heart. So you get the cooldown reduction from the Glacier Shroud. And then you just kind of build all over the place. And then in 40 minutes, via powers combined, it becomes Captain Planet, and then Maokai is just unkillable at the point.
I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of the Captain Planet build. I remember, I think about a year ago where it was, I think Fnatic that was playing, and back then it was still Saigon on the roster, and he was playing Elise in the jungle. And he kind of went for this sort of a Captain Planet build where he just built half of everything. He had the Gem and of course the Glacial Shroud. And then he had
that isn't the Captain Planet build, because when you build on Elise, you just become ineffective. So I'm just gonna build a little bit of everything, and it's like with the spice, maybe everything nice. You might summon a Powerpuff Girls or something, but it's only on Maokai that you get the Deus Ex Machina of the series, where your Captain Planet come in and like, Planeteers, I'm here, purity, pure elements, and everything good about the Earth itself, save Mother Nature, and it kicks the bad guy's ass.
Does it make sense that he's a city as well? And it kind of helps that the guy coming Captain Planet, because just because it's a mega tree.
Of course.
With a lot of age and experience.
Oh, the poke damage so much from Lobita right now.
Yeah, that's right, and that is what makes the Vietnamese Jace so fearsome, as it looks like Lobita is going full arrow on that one, gonna use the blue buff to chop it down as well, and so I think that's the beauty of walking between both parties, as well as there should be a lot of siege damage coming through. This one kind of just moving towards the wrong direction. Is he gonna just proxy farm in the face of Shady right there? I think that's gonna be what he's gonna do right now. Has no regards and respect whatsoever for Shady at this point, even though he does have a substantial amount of weight clear here.
Well, this long time, Shady's kind of ineffective at the moment, so it's kind of Captain Planet climate change in the top lane, but here comes Slay.
That's right, here comes Slay, and he's gonna pop the final hour as well. Looks like Next Water just got too complacent right there, just staying past the second tier turret. You need to respect the, that true damage, the percentage damage that's going up there.
Now Saigon Jokers, they're really backing away, knowing that they have one member down. Teleport is available for him. They might try to just bait this out and bait them and try to bring in a big fight once again. It looks like they're not going to be going for the ASUS Fate, none the wiser as well.
Right, Saigon Jokers though, still holding on to that 5,000 lead. So, not too bad for these guys after all at the end of the day. And Saigon Jokers, they have a lot of emeralds slowly packing out on their end. Two Spectres called. Either one on Nyx for the one on safety, so very respectful towards the damage that Shady as well as Jinky can put out. If we do have the death cap completed on Jinky as well. 4-1 is at this point of time. Saigon Jokers looking to use the downtime for both of them. Very good, solid rotation to the dragon, so it's going to earn them a free dragon uncontested on the side of ASUS Fate.
So there's going to be another dragon going over to the Saigon Jokers. Once again, things are going to be slowing down a little bit. Still waiting for the mana item on the chase. It should be completed any time about now, 24 minutes if you see when we start to see the completed. I was expecting a little bit earlier considering that he had 2 kills very early on.
Well, he decided to itemize into the neutralizer, so he's kind of going to slow down mana meaning. Stack the focus a little bit. Huge chunk of damage down onto Slay just from the accelerated shot blast itself. That's gonna earn you as well as Lobita, the bottom lane, second tier turret as well.
There's 5 cards in the middle of Saigon Jokers. It reflects in the goal lead itself. 5 cards go in your favor. Playing a not very explosive game, once again very controlled, very tempered. Just moving around and fighting the objectives rather than trying to directly engage ASUS Fate.
I think this is the Saigon Jokers that we are slightly more used to. They are not the team to find the fights if they need to. They just want to siege down, they just want to play the control game. And we're seeing that right here, reflected right here. We did have that one huge team fight in Dragon Pit, but that was about it. It was the necessary one to show the goal advantage. And right now they are just abusing the poke from both Su as well as Jace, just to make sure that they can force ASUS Fate off of the objectives and then slowly chasing them down with that.
I mean, now Shady as well as Nyx Water. Oh, Nyx Water just hit level 14 as well. Say that they're even on levels once again, but before that, there was a 2-level lead for Nyx Water, but here comes the roaming cow. Oh, is he gonna get it?
I'm not sure how much he can do though. Next quarter, he's quite alive in this. You now is gonna try to fight. It's 3v1 right here. Jamie is gonna try to knock next quarter into this one, and here comes the back, and George is gonna try to fight as well. And here we go, next quarter still going in once again. He survives to tell the tale with 4 members on his tail here. Of course, it was Lavida as well, and Carrot coming to his rescue right here, but a lot of resources channeled to try to bring down the tankiest member on Saigon Jokers.
I mean, Saigon Jokers just moving and splitting 1-3-1 all across the map, just pressuring the lanes in. But and just look at the amount of vision that they're getting the opponents down. They're getting such a good nets around it. Just move it up to the top lane, clear out those tunnels, maybe clear the ping bot that's been dropped at the blue buff over there. And easy straight, the map is gonna be completely dark.
Yeah, that's right. Saigon Jokers taking a long time to extend their advantages right here, but they're slowly, definitely slowly. This one. ASUS though has to be on the back end and hasn't had a solid game from come back to this one other than the gang all up in the top lane to try to bring this one down. But I feel like that's probably not their best area of offense. They want to bring down, Lavida. They want to bring down Sue. All these members are crucial members into making this SAJ composition work.
He's just they're trying to hide out into the jungle over this girl. Trying to pick up a stray carrot or maybe stray safety here. Tension of what it's going to establish the warding once again. Next one, they're just heading up into the top lane saying, hey guys, I've got my teleport. I'm gonna head up over here. Is he gonna see the pink ward? Nope, he doesn't see the pink ward.
He doesn't care for me.
This is a hero.
We're gonna have a bit of a downtime for this guys again, as Saigon Jokers is hesitant to move in towards ASUS. They need to realize that they do have the goal advantage, so probably not as risk-taking as we do have real. Just kind of on the back end here, he's gonna get caught in by the Dark Binding, so no follow-up from Saigon Jokers. Not quite enough damage on their own end of the table as Lavida down the bottom lane. Once again, holding on to the blue buff, finishing out, finally finishing out that Muramala and having the blood first versus and I believe should be going for the last whisper next, and so really doing quite a fair chunk of damage. So let's see how that one's going to use to the we saw previously one accelerated shot plus down to about half HP.
Not much action happening around the map at the moment. Saigon Jokers not spotted for any fights, despite them hitting the power spikes, so you're not really sure what they're waiting for. Oh, they find Yoyu over there. The knockup goes on the next water. Okay, they gotta play this one really carefully because now Saigon Jokers, they're moving around. They're gonna corral them. They're gonna trap them in the corner over there. But oh, base gate, easy plus for kill.
I'm not too sure why they were trying to kill on this corner. When pretty much he's just there as a distraction technique, and we now see how much damage that Lavida can pack. That one accelerated shock blast brought Jinky down to more than half of his HP. Man, he's just gonna hurt so much, and ASUS is gonna pretty much be playing on the field over here, but I don't because they cannot let their guards down though, because so much up on the end. He's blasted in the Baron. Like this. They recommend it for here comes a kill on the back end. Will we see the skill coming to play? Will we see the skill? It's not coming to play. No, not quite yet. Jinky still manages to pick up that Baron off of the back here. ASUS is going to go down, and here comes to play on the back end. Jinky still underneath. The rest of Saigon is out of the collapsing. A double kill now for the 80 carry. And it's also going to be a triple kill, now for Sue, as it is going to be the ace. 3 members of Saigon Jokers are paired out. I think they should be able to at least take the middle inhibitor off of this one.
The Saigon Jokers team, it was their turn to win the Baron fight, but now they're stacking up the inhibitor turret over there. Just wait for the creep wave over there, and oh, there we go. Baron buff, creep wave. Yoyo is one, however, but up against these 3 members, they should be fairly confident of locking him down and just taking him out fight and decide the equation for them. Akio has now respawned as well, and Saigon Jokers, which is disengaged away from this one, they're gonna turn their sights onto the dragon.
But they should be able to take out this one as well. No vision whatsoever from the side of ASUS. I was about to suggest that there was going to be a watching sound that but not quite going to be the case as one more going into Saigon Jokers way. And That should be the third dragon of the game. So the dragon flight the buff going over to Saigon Jokers there. 5% movement speed to try to contest that up against ASUS Fate.
So now Saigon Jokers, they'll be backing away from this one or having the balance. How does he call? He didn't remember to get 1 2, so the shift 2 barrel from speed. He can go for 1 2 on a prep, just group up and take the top lane part of himself. That is going to be the second start of the game for ASUS Fate. Now they find themselves 10,000 gold behind. It's a very stark contrast from what we were seeing in the first game.
Oh yeah, definitely true. So in the previous one, we did see Saigon Jokers make a lot of mistakes when they were in the gold lead, but right now it is ASUS Fate undoubtedly playing from behind and not having the best responses to what Saigon Jokers are throwing at them. Saigon Jokers is not really committing towards the top lane, so we do see 2 members pushing by themselves down the bottom lane. It is going to be Fitzwater, leader up in the top lane. Looks like it was in fact going to draw just the ASUS up to this area of the map here, and it's going to be Su as well. Push by themselves to the bottom lane.
Once again, Saigon Jokers playing things very methodically in a very slow paced fashion, just slowing down the game, making sure they get the vision control, and going for a 1-2-2 split push to this here. I have to see that not much point really pushing down the mid lane, considering that you already have super minions over there. So just group up, take the inner tower in the top lane, and then after decide whether you want to try to go for the inhibitor or not.
Now they're removing up in the top lane once again, as well as Eric has finally taken around the vicinity, and with the rest of ASUS Fate being having their hands tied down to the lane, I don't think will be able to defend it much. The problem now comes in, will they be able to pass into the top lane inhibitor? A lot of items being cleared on the end of really 8. So I'm gonna pack a lot more auto attack punch. Not going for, not opting to go for the last one, for the flat armor penetration, but the extra critical strike.
I mean, I almost have to feel the Saigon Jokers to this point of time, knowing that the wave here comes from Google is under, hold on to the spoke cells, and then burst them down when they move forward to clear the wave.
Right, so we'll see that's the case, but it still looks like it's Lamina just spamming down those skill shots, trying to take here we go, now Cataclysm down onto Shady, still alive for the time being, and people now on the back end trying to go for the rest of the game as well. Roasting people that want to pick up the kill onto Lamina, sorry, onto Shady now, and the rest of the members looking like they have to collapse. They want to do so much damage on the back end, and that is going to be the winning push and the winning team fight for Saigon Jokers. Finally closing out this fight in a much cleaner fashion. And it's a 1-1 still for these guys as we move on. 18-7 for Saigon Jokers. 32-minute mark.
So Chris, it looks like we're gonna have another draw on our hands. Suddenly this group is just wide open at the moment. So many draws happening everywhere, and Saigon Fantastic 5 climbing to the top of the standings because they were able to beat out ASUS Fate 2-0.
Yeah, that's right, and I don't know, I feel like the GPL has been plagued by twisted fates because there's just so many draws happening in every other day. And right now, Saigon Jokers, good for these guys. I feel like this, particular